Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Halimat. In today's video I'm going to be teaching you guys how to sew a beautiful bomber jacket. So if this is something that you're interested in, let's get into it. So guys, in today's video I'm going to teach you guys how to cut and sew Ankara bomber jacket. So I have my fabric with me. This is my Ankara fabric that I'm going to be using. I have my band, joggers. I call it joggers band. As you can see, it's original band. I have my band with me. I have my tape rule. I have my ruler, my chalk, my seam. For this bomber jacket, I'm not going to be adding a lining to my own bomber jacket, so I'll work with 14.5 inches before I start measuring it, before I start my actual measurement. So I just want to cut out the fabric first. So this is 14.5, and for the length is 24 inches. I'm going to make the length 24 inches, but remember that our jacket is going to have a band by the lower parts. It's going to have a band. So, and this band I'm going to try and I'm going to double it like this, because this is how I'm going to fix it. I'm going to attach it to my jacket, so I'll just fold it into two like this for me to get the measurement. And I have 3 inches. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to reduce 3 inches minus 24 inches. So I'm going to have 21 inches. So that is what I'm going to cut out on this fabric. 21 inches plus the sewing allowance at the top, the joining allowance at the top, and the joining allowance at the bottom. That will give me 22 inches, half inch at the top, half inch at the bottom. So I'll just mark my 22 inches. Guys, this is what we are going to use to draft the back of our bomber jacket. So first, what you are going to do now is you are going to try and get the shoulder measurements for our bomber jacket. And the shoulder measurement, I have 17 inches, and I will divide this 17 inches divided by 2. That will give me 8.5. That will give me 8.5. I will mark my 8.5 here, 8.5 inches, plus extra 1 inch for the joining allowance, like this. That's 9.5 inch. Then I will come down from this point. I will come down by 9.5 inches or 9 inches, because I'll come down by 9.5 inches, which is going to be the arm length, the armhole length, our armpit. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and get my bust measurements, which is the body of our bomber jacket. And you know, the bust is 42 inches plus extra 6 inches. If you can decide to add 4 inches if you don't want it to be too big, it is still okay. But I'm going to, okay, I'll just decide to add 4 inches to mine. I don't want it to be too big. So 42 inches plus 4 inches, that's 46 inches, divided by 4, half on this particular point, 11.5. I'll mark my 11.5 here, 11.5. So from this shoulder measurement, I'm going to come down like this. I'm just going to connect it with this, just like this. So we are getting there. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to place my tape rule here and just go out by 1.5 inch like this to get a curved shape. At this point, I'm going to come down by 1.5 inch. I'm going to come down by 1.5. I'll just mark it. Then I'll take my ruler and just connect it like this. Just like this. This is what we have. We are ready. The slanted shoulder measurement here, I reduced 1.5 inch from here, I have the armpit measurement, the curved one, and I have the body measurement, which is the bust measurement here. So if I have 11.5 inches here, so this waist area, I just decided to measure 11 inches. I reduced it by ½ inch, so I have 11 inches here instead of 11.5 here. Then I have 11 inches here. So what I'm just going to do now is I'm just going to, and for this lower part of our jacket, you can just measure it, just add extra 2 inches to this bust area, or 1.5. You know, we want to come out like this. We don't want it to be straight, just like this. So this is what I'm going to do. Just carefully watch what I'm doing carefully, guys, and you're going to get the same result. So this is what I have, guys. Can you see the shape of our jacket? This is what I have. What we are going to do now is we are going to try and get the neck area of our bomber jacket. And for the neck, I'm going to use 4 inches for the width, 4 inches like this. And for the depth, I'm going to use, which is the length, I'm just going to use 2 inches for the depth of my neck, for the back. Then I'm just going to curve it like this. Or if you have a curved ruler, you can just use your curved ruler. But I'm doing a freehand sketch. So we have it, guys. We have the back of our bomber jacket. So what we are going to do now is just to go ahead and cut it out. What we are going to do now is, since we've already cut the back of our bomber jacket, let's just try and let's chop it so we can easily identify the wrong side of our fabric. So this is the back side. So now we are going to proceed to the front side of our bomber jacket. So now this is what we have. You can see I folded it into 2 places, like just double your fabric like this. Double your fabric like this. So make sure that the middle is opened like this, because there's going to be a zip. You're going to add a zip to our bomber jacket. So the middle part is going to be opened like this. Just fold your fabric like this and ensure this part is open. So you bring the back piece, bring it and place it on the front fabric just like this. Serve as our allowance where we are going to attach our zip. So that is why the front is definitely going to be bigger in body than the back. We are just going to try and trace the body that we already have for the back. We are also going to trace it on our fabric for the front part of our bomber jacket. But before we do that, I want us to pay attention to this neck area. Because for the neck area, the front is going to be different from the back. Which the reason being that you know that we've added extra 2 inches for the zip. So we are just going to off the front for the neck. I'm going to make it 1.5 inches. The depth is going to be 1.5 inches, just like this. I'm not going to cut it exactly like the back, no. So the front is going to be a bit higher than the front. The neckline for the front is going to be a bit higher than that of the back. That is what I'm doing here, guys. So I'll just cut it like this. The same width. The back has the same width as that of the front, but the neck depth for the back is lower than that of the front. Guys, for the sleeve measurement, I just realized my camera was not recording, but this is what I'm going to try and explain again. So I've already folded my fabric into 4 places because we are going to be cutting out 2 sleeves. So the length of my sleeve is 21.5 inches. And remember that I'm going to be adding a band to the sleeve, to the wrist as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and put it like this. It's going to be at my wrist like this. So I'm going to measure the length of this band, and I'm going to reduce whatever I have here. I'm going to remove it from my sleeve length. So I'm just going to go ahead like this. I have 3 inches. So I have 3 inches for the band. Then my sleeve measurement originally is 21.5 inches. So I'll go ahead and reduce. I'm going to remove 3 inches from 21.5 inches, which is going to give me 18.5 inches. So I measured 18.5 inches, and I added extra half allowance for the joining at the top and extra half allowance for the joining at the bottom. Then that's 19.5. So I decided to mark 20 inches here as the length. And for the body of my sleeve, I measured from here to here. I measured 10 inches. Then I just mark it. That's from here to this place. The width of my sleeve is 10 inches. And from here, from this top, I came down by 5.5 inches. 5.5 inches. Then from here, I came in by 2.5 inches, just like this. Just like this, 2.5 inches. So I just decided to make a freehand sketch from here, just as if you are writing hairs, as if you are drawing hairs or anything like that. Just make a freehand sketch like this. That is going to serve as the shape of our armpits. So what I'm going to do next now is I want to try and get like a slanted kind of a slanted shape for our sleeve, because our so I'm just going to, I have 10 inches here for the width. Then I'm just going to mark 8 inches, because we are still going to add an elastic band, this kind of band. So I'm just going to be creative with this place. I'm just going to be creative. I'm just going to measure 8 inches here. That's 16 inches if you open it just like this. You're going to see what I'm trying to do now. Then I'm going to make a slanted line. I'm going to draw a slant line like this. As you can see, it has given us a sleeve shape already. Because that marking everything out, what we are just going to do now is go ahead and cut it out. So guys, now we are done cutting. We have all the pieces together. We have the front, we have the back, and we have the sleeves of our bomber jacket. So what we are going to do now is we're going to start joining each pieces together. And before we do that, the first thing that we are going to do is we're going to work on the pockets of our bomber jacket. And this bomber jacket, I want it to have a welt pocket. And a welt pocket is, if you're familiar with a suit pant pocket, the pocket at the back of a suit pant, that is what we call a welt pocket. So that is what I want to work on first. Bomber jacket to have. So before we do that, I'm just going to fold in this zip allowance at the front. I'm going to just fold it like this. I'm trying to locate the notching at the top. I'm going to fold it like this, and I'll get my iron. I will use my iron to press it down from my shoulder down to my waist area. So from this place, from this waist area, 14.5 inches, that is the point. This is the point where my pocket is going to start from. Then to get from this middle point of my jacket, from the zipper area, the center of my jacket, I'm going to come in by 5.5 inches. Then I've also marked it. Can you see? we are working with this line. So what I'm now going to do now is, from this point I'm going to measure 5 inches. I'm going to measure 5 inches or 4.5 inches, depending on how big your hand is by the time you want to put your hand inside your pocket. So I'm going to go with 4.5 inches because I will still sew it and notch it, so it's going to like expand a bit. So I'll go with 4.5 inch, then I'll mark my 4.5 inch here, just like this. So this line, I'll just connect this line to this place, just slant it like this. So this is where we are going to make our pocket. So I want to cut out the pocket now, the pieces that I'm going to use for my pocket. We actually need 2 pieces for the pocket. We need 2 pieces of fabric for the pocket. So what I'm going to do now is, this is what I'm going to use for my pocket. Then they are the same measurement. So the length is 7 inches and the width is 6 inches. So these pieces of fabric, they are 7 by 6 inches, and this is what I'm going to use to sew my pocket, to use as my pocket. So you're going to take 1 piece of the fabric of the pieces that we want to use for our pocket. I'm just going to take one. You can take either of the 2. So you're just going to use your interface. You're going to iron it to like maybe half of it or halfway down like this. I'm just going to iron it, or you can use paper steel as well, but I don't have a paper steel, so I'm going to be using. What I'm going to do next, I'm going to bring my the front piece of my bomber jacket and bring 1 piece of this pocket. I'll place it on it like this. Just make sure the tip is touching that measurement that I have here. I'm also going to measure it out on my piece. I have 4.5 inch, so I will use my pin to just hold it in place, just like this. I'll use my pin to hold it down, just like this. Then I'll do it for the other end, just like this. Okay, so now what I'm going to do next is, the area that we chalked already is going to be in between these 2 pieces, just like this. That's going to be the opening area, the mouth of our pocket. So just use your pin to hold it down. You're also going to mark, like chalk it, get the exact same measurement for both pieces, like this. It's going to make sense now. Just try and you do exactly the same thing that I'm doing in this video, just like the explanation. You're also going to get the same result. So I'll just go ahead and just mark a line like this, just like this, like 1/2 inch, and I'll mark a line like this as well, 1/2 inch. So I'm going to go to my sewing machine. I'll just stitch directly on this line and stop here. I'll stitch directly on this line as well and stop here. Then we are going to move on to the next stage. So guys, this is what we have. This is what we have after stitching this on our sewing machine. So what we are going to do next now is, we are going to turn it to the other side, just like this. So you will try and you will open this place so you don't cut it. Then you see this back like this. You're just going to notch it we want to open it. We want to open it up. So as you can see, guys, this is it. Can you see? Then you go ahead and just trace it like this. Make sure you don't cut it entirely. Just trace it like this. Just notch it to that extent. So guys, for our pocket, I want us to watch this video closely. So what you're going to do first is you're going to push the pieces inside the opened area, just like I did in this video. So once you push it in and you've arranged everything properly, you're going to take the piece that has the black interface. You're going to push it in as well. Then after pushing it in, you're going to fold it, like you're going to fold it with 1/2 inch. You let it, like the tip, you let the tip to poke out, like to come out a bit by the, you can see what I'm doing now. I'm going to push it out like that. I'm just going to like fold it with 1/2 inch. As you can see, just look at my hand, look at what I'm doing. So that's what I did exactly. So it's going to like overlap on the other piece that has that does not have the interface. So guys, as you can see now, this is how it looks on the inside. You can notice the folded area, the tip, the piece that has the black interface. I've already folded it by 1/2 inch. That's it. And the other side that doesn't have the interface is flat, and we are not going to fold that part. So what you're going to do now is just to bring the two pieces together, just like that. And after bringing them together, we're going to take it to the sewing machine and just stitch the sides down, just for us to like hold the pieces together. So this is the outer part of my bomber jacket. As you can see, we have a welt pocket already. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take it to the sewing machine where I'm pointing at in this video. That particular area, that's where I'm going to stitch. You're just going to stitch it with your sewing machine. Ensure that you arrange everything well. Stitch it down, and the other side of the pieces, you're also going to stitch it down as well. And after stitching them down, you're going to just sew it round, like make a circle on the pieces. So that is going to serve as the pocket. Guys, this is what our pocket looks like after stitching it on our sewing machine. This is the inside, and this is the outer part of the pocket. As you can see, what we are going to do next is we want to join all the pieces together. We want to join the back and the front and the sleeves together. So I have this is the front. I have the front here with me. Then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to join the front and the back together by the shoulder. So I'm just going to bring the back. This is the back piece for my bomber jacket. Then the right side facing each other, just like this. So I'm going to pick the shoulder like this. We are going to stitch it down by 1/2 inch this way. So I'm going to use my pin to hold it down first before proceeding to the sewing machine. I'm going to use half. So guys, this is what I have. This is what the shoulder looks like. This is the front, one part of the front. I've attached it by the shoulder to the back, and this is the other side, and I've also used my pin to hold it down by the shoulder area. Then I'm going to go to my sewing machine and just stitch it out by 1/2 inch. So guys, this is what we have after joining the shoulders together. As you can see, this is what we have. I'm going to attach the sleeves to our jacket. So to attach the sleeves, you just spread your jacket out like this. Just spread it out like this to try and locate this shoulder center point, and you bring one sleeve. I have my sleeve here with me. Then the notched area of this my sleeve, place it directly here, which is the middle of my shoulder, just like this. This like this, and I'm going to use my pin to hold it down. So after securing this particular part, as you can see, this is your shoulder line, and the center, the notched, you're going to place the notched area of your sleeve. You're going to place it at the center of your shoulder, at the center of your shoulder line. So after putting that together, after locating that and securing that part, you're just going to go ahead and use your pin just like this to attach the sleeves to the shoulder round. So guys, after joining the sleeves to the body of our jacket, what we are going to do next is just to close the body up. And to do that, I'm just going to turn the jacket to the wrong side. After turning it to the wrong side, I'm going to ensure that everything is aligned. So I'm going to start my measurements from the wrist area, and my wrist is 6 inches. So I'll go ahead and mark 6 inches, and I'm going to just make a line down to the body of my bomber jacket, because the bomber jacket is going to be free and not fitted. So I'm just going to do a freehand sketch starting from the wrist measurement, which is 6 inches. Then I'm just going to draw a line down to the body of my bomber jacket. So after this, I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and just stitch it out on my sewing machine. Guys, I've ironed my jacket, and this is what I have after ironing it. I've joined the sides, as you can see. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and work on the band for the waist. So this is my elastic band for the waist. So I'm going to measure to work on the band, and I have my waistband here with me. I call it jogger's band. If you have this type of band, this is what it's going to look like. You're going to double it like this. After doubling it, then you are also going to fold it into two, just like this. This is what I'm going to work with. And here I have 14 inches with me. Then I'll mark it out and cut it. I'm going to mark it and cut it. So this is what I'm going to add to the waist of my bomber jacket, and I'm not going to attach it directly like this. I'm still going to add Ankara fabric to this, to my elastic band. So I'm just going to cut small pieces of Ankara fabric, just like this. And you can use this to measure your Ankara fabric, just to get the width, how wide you want it to be. Just like this. So I'm going to cut this into two like this, and the length can be 4 inches, depending on how big or how wide you want the Ankara fabric to be in front of your bomber jacket. So I'm just going to make it 4 inches because you're still going to use ½ inch to join it. Go ahead and cut it out. So this is what I have, guys, and I'm going to cut it into two like this. So I have this and I have this. So what I'm going to do next is I'll bring my band, just going to trim this place. I'll bring the elastic band and just attach, as you can see, and just attach my fabric like this to the elastic band, and I'll use my pin to hold it in place before taking it to my sewing machine and stitch it just like this. This is what you're going to have, and you also do it for the second side. So guys, this is what I have after joining this Ankara fabric to my band. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to attach my band to my bomber jacket, and this is very much easy. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to start from the zip area. You know, we folded it in with 2 inches for the zip allowance. So I'm just going to open it up like this, and I'll take this hen. I'm going to take this band and just attach it together like this. I'll use my my pin to hold it in place. This is one end. Then I'll also come to the other end, to the second zip allowance area. Just ensure that they are like this, like this. I'm going to come to this other end as well, just like this, and I'm going to hold it down with my pin. So this is what I have, guys. The reason why I did this is because I'm going to go to my sewing machine like this, then I will start sewing. So while sewing it, while stitching it down, I'm going to pull my band like this. What we have after joining the band. As you can see, This is my waist. This is what the front looks like. So what we are going to do now is we want to attach band also to the wrist, to our sleeves. We want to attach band. So to do that, I'm just going to bring my band. I'm going to bring my band and double it like this. Then I'll fold it as well, just like this. I have a very small wrist, so I'm going to fold it like this. Then I'll double it like this. This is what it's going to look like this. So I'm going to make the width 4 inches, or almost 4 inches though, because it's elastic band. So I'm going to make the width 4 inches, just like this. Then I'll just cut it out. This is for one sleeve. This is what we have. This is how it's going to look on your wrist. So you're going to cut 2 pieces of this. Once you open it up like this, fold it this way. Use 1/2 inch, just like this. Then you sew it down. I do the same thing for this one. So guys, this is what we have after stitching the band, and I'm going to just go ahead and just turn it out like this to the right side. This is what you're going to have, as you can see. Turn your sleeve out to the wrong side. Take your band like this, then you put it inside your sleeve, just like this. Use your pin to hold it down. So you're going to go to your sewing machine and just sew it round, and you will stretch your band machine and just sew it round like this. Then while sewing it, ensure you stretch your band. What I want to do next is I want to attach my zip to my bomber jacket. I have my zip here with me, and this is where I'm going to be fixing the zip. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to start from here. I'm going to start from this lower part of my jacket. As you can see, this is where I'm going to start from. You take your zip like this area, just ensure they align just like this. Then I'll take my pin and pin it down. I've attached my zip to my bomber jacket, and this is what I have. This is what it looks like. As you can see, I've attached. So what I'm going to do next now is I want to work on the neck area, and I have my band here with me. This is my band. So for me to work on the neck area, I'm not going to fix the band directly like that. I'm just going to double my band like this. I'm going to fold it into two like this. Then I will double it this way. This is what you're going to have. Just ensure everything is aligned, just like this. So from this place, I'm going to measure the length of my band. The length of the band is 11.5 inches. 11.5 inches. So for this place, I'm going to measure 1.5 from here like this. I'll mark 1.5. I just want to like get a slanted shape, just like this. Then I'll come down, make a slant mark like this, just this way. So this is what you're going to have. 1.5 from here, 1.5. Then you just draw a slant line, just like this. Then you take your scissors and just cut it. For this place, I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and stitch it out. You also come to this other hand and also stitch it out. This is what I have. I've stitched this part out. I've stitched this part also. So this is what I have with me. So what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to try and get the center, like the middle of this band. I'll just fold it into two like this to get the middle. And this is the middle of my band. So I'm going to notch it. I'm going to notch it just like that. I can also use my chalk to identify it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to proceed to my jacket. I will also fold my jacket like this, the neck area. I'll double it just to get the middle as well. Then I'll notch it at the back. You're going to notch the back. So this is where I'm going to start from to attach the neck band like this. I'm going to put it here and I'll use my pin, and I will use my pin to hold it down. So after securing that place, I'll just come like this. I'll come to the front side, the zip area like this. I'll place this band close to the zip. I will also use my pin to hold it down, just like this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to my sewing machine. While you're sewing it, pull it, then sew it round the neck line of our jacket. Okay guys, so this is the final look of my bomber jacket. It is looking so pretty and I can't really wait to rock it. So guys, if you enjoyed today's tutorial, please kindly do well to subscribe to my YouTube channel, comment, like and share. See you next time. Bye.